As the government tries to rebuild the economy, Jamaica has joined a host of countries who are beginning to ease their COVID-19 lockdown measures and border restrictions. On Sunday, Prime Minister Andrew Holness announced that as of June 1, Jamaicans overseas will be allowed to return home and the borders will reopen on June 15 to accommodate international travelers.
So during the period June 1 to June 14, all persons seeking to re-enter Jamaica will be subject to testing except for those entering from a country within the travel bubble as defined on our, which we will give the specific criteria of those countries we consider to be within our bubble. And for clarity, Jamaicans returning from countries not considered to be within our travel bubble would be required to be tested and quarantined at home with either phone or wristband geofencing. Now, as of June 15, non-Jamaican nationals will be allowed to enter Jamaica. Protocols regarding this have been established and further details will be provided in due course.
The Prime Minister explained the context of a travel bubble, but did not give a list of the countries that may fall under that category.
Effectively, what the travel bubble would be countries that have equal or better performance in the management of the pandemic within their jurisdiction, have good results, and there are many countries like that within the Caribbean region that have had no cases for more than a week, that have cases below 100, that follow the same protocols like us, which would be in terms of the contact tracing, the management of clusters, using the public health system in a similar way to educate people.
And Mr. Holness says it will not be convenient to test all persons who will re-enter the island as of June 15. However, international travelers can make a request to be tested.
We simply do not have the human resources to conduct that kind of test, and the logistics involved. As you can imagine, the strain that is being put on the public health system right now to test those that we are requiring to be tested under the present protocols for the controlled re-entry. I'm not seeing it physically feasible to be testing all flights that are coming in with 200 and 300 passengers at a time. The delay at the airport, it just would not make sense. However, this is not to say that they will not be tested. We will have provision for persons if they want to be tested. We have provisions for persons if through the screening process.
Meanwhile, Tourism Minister Edmund Bartlett outlined measures for protecting tourism workers. He wants Jamaicans to know that the country is COVID resilient.
Very central to it all is the protection of the workers of the industry. And every effort is being made to ensure, and indeed I want to make the point that some of the protocols that the companies themselves have put forward, and I've seen a number of them by way of their YouTube renditions of what their protocols are, that are well in excess and exceeds those that we have put forward in terms of how they are going to manage their space and, more importantly, provide the necessary COVID security equipment for the workers of the industry. The training that will be done, and in fact we are rolling out a whole training program starting tomorrow, in addition to the online training which is now happening and the certification program that is being undertaken.
Mr. Holness says if the number of cases continue to increase, the measures will be tightened again. Kimberly, Broderick, Frontline News.